Hello, and welcome back to Afterglow episode 33. So today we're going to be checking out our first 2600 game, and in a unique little touch, it's also going to be our first homebrew title. So today I'm going to be remembering CGE Adventures for the Atari 2600. This game has a really cool story behind it, and it is a lot of fun to play as well. Don't want to give away too much. We're going to take a very short and quick music cut, and after that I'll be discussing CGE Adventures. So that's probably the shortest music cut we've ever had in this podcast. Anyway, every game begins with a good story. And CGE Adventures has not just a good story, but an amazing story. Retro Gaming Roundup is a very long-running podcast that has a bunch of interviews and top 10s, hardware, info, news. They've been around for a very long time, and they've been to a lot of expos, including an expo that used to be around called the Classic Gaming Expo. So they're at this expo, and they wanted to advertise their podcast a little bit, so they had burned a bunch of CDs that had a bunch of clips from the show on it to get someone that might be interested in a chance to listen to them and see if they'd be interested in checking out other episodes. And also, like, something cool to listen to, like, on the car ride home and whatnot. So they have all these CDs made, and they're at their booth, and they've got another guy like sitting there watching the booth, but he's also like, you know, kind of talking to everyone that's coming up and everything, so he can't keep an eye on everything at that table all the time. Well, this show has an unsavory sort of gentleman there who decides that he's going to get a CD, which is free anyway, but he don't want one. He wants the entire stack. So the dude literally steals an entire stack of CDs that all have the same thing and leaves with them. Interesting thing, this gentleman is deaf. He cannot hear. So he steals a bunch of CDs. They're all the same. Can't hear a thing. And, of course, while they were angry at first, they had to laugh at the entire situation. And down the road, they decided, no, it'd be cool to make an Atari 2600 game. And they're like, this is the perfect story for that game. And so a story from this podcast lives on in video game form, which is really cool. So I have a bonus episode that will be out tomorrow. That's going to discuss memories of the 2600 and the making of this game. But my personal memories of this game are kind of cool. So I bought the game from their website, and old PC games back in the day, they came with what was called feelies. They're kind of like extra things to kind of like get you in the mood for the game, and sometimes they're also like a security device for the game to where you'd have to like use a code wheel or something. So this game came with a few feelies. It came with a CD, which of course is a copy of the CD that our Deaf CD Thief stole. It comes with some dice because CGE was held in Las Vegas around all these casinos. And it came with a VIP pass. Really cool feelies, in my opinion. Gets you in the mood to play the game. So you load up the game, and you are opened up with the Atari 2600 rendition of Viva Las Vegas, which is an awesome touch, and a beautiful-looking title screen that honestly is larger than a lot of Atari 2600 full games from back then. But you start the game and you play as the CD Thief himself. You play as a villain in this game. And it plays a lot like Adventure, in my opinion, but a better version of Adventure. You have to dodge the hosts, Retro Gaming Roundup, while trying to steal the CDs and make your way back out of the convention. And not only do you have to dodge the show hosts, you have Intellivision the Great, otherwise known as Keith Robinson, who also makes an appearance. And Keith was an awesome, awesome guy. I love the fact that he's in this game as well. It's kind of funny that the guy that backed Intellivision and like was our main guy for the longest time is in an Atari 2600 game now. Pretty funny touch, in my opinion. But even if you make it out, it's not a happy ending for you because I'm going to go ahead and spoil the ending because you can probably do it yourself in a few minutes. But if you make it out, Elvis Presley or a Presley impressionist will come up to you. Thank you very much. And then the cops arrest you. So a really, really charming game, in my opinion. One of the best homebrews I've ever played for the Atari 2600. And you can play it for free. Go to RetroGamingRoundup.com. I believe you can go to the merch part, and they have a free download for the ROM. So there's no reason not to play this one. It's an amazingly fun game. And I think they still have a few copies left if you were to actually want to go buy a physical copy. But other than that, like, play the ROM. It's free to download. And it's a fun game if you're into those old 2600 games like I am sometimes. Like, the 2600 was my first console growing up. So I've got tons of happy memories of it, and I love the fact that there's still new homebrew like CGE Adventures that are coming out for it in modern times. Absolutely love that fact. But I love this game. The podcast that it came from is still going strong. They're, I think, closing in at over 200 episodes. If they're not at 200, they are very, very close. Very long show. Our show's bite-sized. It's like the sticker at the back of the cartridge. Their show can be anywhere from 5 to 7 hours, but they do release monthly, whereas I try to release one weekly. But go check out Retro Gaming Roundup and check out CGE Adventures. And we're going to close this out with the theme song of CGE Adventures from the British IBM, back when they recorded the theme song for the game. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you on the next episode of Afterglow.